the initial verse, wherein lies the value of our life. So to understand that, we first need to understand the purpose of our life. So if we do not know the answer to that question, I don't think any one of us will then know the value of our life. We should know to assess ourselves and not cast the hidden treasure within us into the cesspit. So assess ourselves, you may recall that often I've shared with you all to try to grow in self-realization. And self-realization can only come about only if you know yourself. And you can only know yourself if you begin to analyze yourself. Much that one can be in practice. If one doesn't know that, then the focus will be all over the place. So if in this life we do not cherish ourselves, we become poor. And because if the right concentration may not be there, so we become lax and slacken, we will regress. For this, we will feel a sense of remorse. So in Master's explanation, the Buddha told us clearly that we all have hidden treasures, which is intrinsic with our nature. We can experience the truth of all things in the universe. So what do you mean by experience the truth? Experience of truth is about growing in wisdom from experiential learning. Not only just listen to the Dharma, but apply that in practice so you can experience the truth. But this experiential learning can only come about you have the right concentration, back to the initial verse. So in our daily living, our external condition often causes us to create afflictions which bury our Buddha nature. And this is the power of uncrossation, depending on the karmic causes that we create. So it's like casting the hidden treasure within us into the cesspit because we are burying all the hidden treasures. So as we learn the Buddha's way, we must have a sense of remorse so that we have this acknowledgement and realization that what we've done was wrong. So if we don't have the remorse, we won't be able to stop our own ways of doing things. So we must have the precept samadhi and wisdom to get engaged in the true study. So a single sleep may cause everlasting sorrow. Why? Because a single sleep may result in innumerable lifetimes of rebirth. So in this parable, after having wandered for a long time, the person finally returned to his environment, yet he was still haggling over the wages because he wants to know what is in it, in the path, and because he yet to understand. So the two vehicle practitioners in for cessation and hence practice the path. But thus asking for value obviously is asking for the value of cessation and the path, a value of cessation to go beyond that. And he's quite happy with what they are doing to eliminate all the afflictions. But to return back, and you need to understand what's the value of that. So bodhisattvas would not do this. Bodhisattvas would think of saving others. They go among people to transform sentient beings, being able to give us the value they get from saving sentient beings. So there is understanding the value of saving sentient beings. That's where the universal wisdom or the supreme enlightenment is attained. So sometimes, we always have doubts in things that people tell us because we haven't been there. So if we haven't been there, we need someone who has crossed over to tell us what the value of being there. And so this is what it is. So it's hard sometimes for one to appreciate that one who has crossed over to the ultimate. So the lessons learned for the two vehicles, attaining the state of not contriving affinities with sentient beings, give a carefree life without responsibility in saving others. This is the value of this wage. So if I guess in real life, that's happen in that way. They're happy what they are doing, they're happy with this, but they don't, therefore they don't see any need to strive for higher. So they practice contemplation or the fourfold mindfulness to subdue and eliminate the afflictions of views and thinking. This is like clearing the excrement. Why clearing this excrement? Because our body is impure. And this is necessary for fourfold mindfulness if we want to clear our inverted views. Because why with the inverted views? Because we think about our body is pure enough, the feeling is joy, is happiness in the world, and they got the pleasure of a life. And they think, I mean, people live life as if there's no tomorrow. And what they see, it's real, and this is what it is. But the reverse is true in the fourfold mindfulness. So disciples in the two vehicles were not interested to go among people to create good affinities. Then that's where the Father saw the fault in them not having a dignified appearance of interpersonal relationship require mutual effort. And this mutual effort, that's where it's necessary to grow in harmony of affinities. So to learn the Buddha's way, we must make an effort to cherish ourselves. And cherishing ourselves is to understand what our intrinsic nature is. But this is very different from self-centeredness. Cherishing ourselves doesn't mean we should be centered on our own views, centered on our ways. But the reverse is true. To unearth, and that is the incrustation that we have, so that we can then realize the intrinsic Buddha nature within us. So we must increase the value of our own life, because if we do not know the value of our own life, then we never appreciate what the purpose should be. But but we need to understand very carefully what it means to value of own life, because the worldly mind would think value means I appreciate myself. That's why I do it in my own ways. So therefore, so sometimes when I listen to the meaning of those words, it's not what is in the surface, it's actually the reverse. So increase the value of our life, we need to first be benefactors of other people's life. You see, this is the reverse definition. So then naturally everyone will be our benefactors in life to help us develop that wisdom life, so that we can realize what is the true meaning of the teaching. So in contemplation, you see, our life is filled with mysteries of becoming. And this, if we want to unearth the intrinsic nature within us, each one of us, then we need to understand what these mysteries are of our becoming, because each one of us, we've got different level of incrustation. We've got different types of affliction that we do need to remove. So the becomings unfold amidst the daily life in the forms of ups and downs. But often we spend a lot of time complaining our downs. When things are up, we enjoy as if there's no tomorrow. And so we need to understand this, but there's ups and downs. So that's why we need to be in samadhi. Otherwise, we'll be consumed by all that is up or that it is down. So the lessons are hidden, but it's often missed, because a mind which doesn't raise in consciousness will not understand this. So becomings are common to all, but the lessons are for you to work on, not for somebody else. Not even the Buddha can tell you what can awaken you. So we have to do that ourselves. So the lessons are not from what you see, but from what you do not see. So on relationship, be respectful to those whom you meet, whoever they may be. Uphold your hidden resolve in the practice to be ever courageous and strong. So especially when we go amongst the masses, we need to be courageous and do what we need to do. I mean to be strong, to be able to help others. So practice humility so that you listen to others, make way for others, and not be presumptuous in your ways or what they think, what you think they may be. So one can only be harmonious only when one is accommodating and hospitable. So accommodate the ways of others and hospitable to those who come. Okay. Kanan, brothers and sisters, thank you.
Yeah, kind of. Thank you so much to Brother Yun Kyung for another session of sharing.